Today's Gospel of Matthew picks up where we left off yesterday. Yesterday, Jesus said, "Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Now, right before he sends it in heaven, he'll say, "Go out to the whole world." And we reflected yesterday that for us, that really means reaching out to the non-practicing baptized Catholics out there. And today, he gives very specific instructions on how to evangelize. And he says, cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, drive out demons. Now think about that. Cure the sick. I'm thinking, okay, like how sick are they? How close do I have to get to them? I remember this 5-year-old boy was having dinner over at their house with like 8 kids, and he had runny eyes and runny nose, and clearly he had like Andromeda strain. He came over, gave me a big hug, and said, "I love you, Father Walkie." And I'm thinking, man, I'm going to be sick, right? Like, how sick are they, Lord? How close do I have to get to them? Raise the dead. Well, look, like, how dead? Did they just die, or have they decomposed? Because this is really getting gross. Cleanse the lepers. Cleanse the lepers. Lord, do you know what's going on to the lepers? That's contagious, it's incurable, and it's deadly. Drive out the demons. Demons, they're out of their mind. They are dangerous. I do not want to get near a demon. This is dangerous work Jesus is calling us to. This is dangerous work, evangelization. So how are you going to do it? Do you need, a bulletproof vest? Do you need a gas mask? How are you going to do it? And here's the paradox. He said, without cost you have received, without cost you are to give. Or as we say at Relevant Radio, freely you have received, freely give. That's why at Relevant Radio, everything is for free. It comes right from the Gospel of Matthew. And that's what we're doing. That's where the app is free. That's where the programming is free and all that. And then he goes on to say something even more particularly. Don't take gold or silver or copper. Now, if you were alive today, you would say, don't take Venmo, don't take Zelle, don't take American Express, credit cards, debit cards. Like, don't take any money. Okay, what? This is nuts. Go out in the whole world. Don't take a backpack. Don't take a second tunic or sandals. So this is how you do the dangerous work, by embracing poverty. It is a paradox, but it's true. I call it the power of poverty. The power of poverty. That's what made St. Damon of Malachi such an effective witness. That's what made St. Teresa of Calcutta such an effective witness. Don't take supplies. You don't need consultants. You don't need a 5-year plan. You do not need a strategic plan. You don't need planning. And yet, yes, you do. To a certain extent in organizations. But how many times people get bogged down by other stuff and they can't just go right for the goal to speak to people about Jesus Christ. So it is a paradox, and it's up to everyone to discover it for themselves. The power of poverty. St. Josemaria would give some general ideas about how to live the virtue of poverty. Poverty is to use material things in their proper place as a way to get to heaven, not as an end in themselves. And he would say, in the first place, consider nothing your own. So it's not my side of the garage. It's not my leftovers in the refrigerator. It's not my whatever it is. Consider nothing your own, even if you have title to the property. Second, he would say, try to have nothing superfluous. And I think for most Americans, that's very difficult. I don't know about you, but pens and pencils and baseball hats and T-shirts and and coffee mugs just kind of grow, right? They take over your house. Try to have nothing superfluous. Third, if you are lacking something that's necessary, don't complain about it. Fourth, when you have a choice to make a personal purchase for yourself that nobody else is going to know the difference, choose the second best, not the super duper. Why is that? Because when you get the second best, you own it. But if you get the super duper, it owns you. I was so happy when I bought my new car last year, a couple of years ago. It already had a dent in it. All right, the dent is there. All right, it is what it is. It's a car, right? And I would add one more suggestion to live that virtue of poverty. And this is very challenging. get in the habit of tithing, giving away 10% to the church or charity. And a guy asked me, is that after deductions or is that top line? I said, do I even have to answer that question? And you see that God always gives you more than you need. God is very good. I remember, and here's the last part of the story today, the first time I was on Relevant Radio for about a half hour talking about the faith and all that. At the end, the show host thanked me very much. Thank you for being on air. I said, thank me? Thank you. I spent 3 hours preparing my class for seniors at Northridge Prep, half of them who don't want to be there. And I speak to 30 kids for an hour. I just spoke to 30,000 people in a half hour, and they were all interested. And I was thinking, I'd pay you to be on air, to evangelize. Well, these are things that we can think about because we're called to evangelize. And we're called to evangelize in a big way, to go out into the whole world. Freely you have received, freely give. And when we have that freedom from materialism, then we'll have the courage to approach the sick and raise the dead and cleanse lepers and drive out demons.